Hey there, everybody. We're going to see if the third time's the charm here. When I did the Pirates and the 79 Pirates and the 41 Yankees, that game went to extra innings. The video cut out on me on the 11th inning, so decided to finish that game on another video in front of the Baltimore-Houston video. Then, of course, at the end, I hit my phone and did something that caused the video to cut out. It did not save anywhere, so it is lost in oblivion. But Pittsburgh did win that game. A Willie Stargell homer in the top of the 16th was enough to give them a 4-3 victory over the 1941 Yankees, so the 79 Pirates advance. And then Baltimore and Houston, they also played an extra inning game, was tied 1-1 in extra innings. And then in the bottom of the 11th, Lee May, the DH of the Orioles, hit a walk-off home run to send the Orioles to the next round to take on the 86 Mets. So this bracket here is almost, or this region here is almost complete. Only one game left, and that's the game for today, which is number 15 seed 2016 Cubs versus the number 18 seed, the 74 Dodgers. So that's where we are. I apologize. I wish I had this game because it was a great game. I wish the video hadn't screwed up, or I hadn't screwed up. Basically what it is, I hit, when I was reaching to get this bracket out to review everything, I hit the phone somehow and it caused the video to stop. And without, when you record on this, or when I record on the YouTube app through my phone, the only way it saves it, you have to finish off the video. You actually have to do a stop and upload and all that stuff. But I didn't get a chance to do that. It just kind of went away, and there's no way to get it back. So unfortunately, that's not there. So I'm hoping I can avoid that issue today for this game between the Cubs and the Dodgers. So let's, and somebody else had also asked me about the teams in the bracket or who's in the tournament or whatever. I'm going to set this here and hold it for a second. If you want to pause the video and look at all the teams in there, you can see who's advanced and which games I have left to play in the first round. So there you go. So now let's get moving. The Dodgers are the lower seed, lower ranking seed, because they didn't have quite as good a record as the Cubs did. So let's meet the Dodgers starting lineup in today's game. Leading off and playing second base is Davey Lopes. Batting second and playing left field is Bill Buckner. Batting third and first base is Steve Garvey. Batting cleanup is the toy cannon Jimmy Nguyen. Batting fifth is the Penguin Ron Cey. Batting seventh and seventh and in right field is Joe Ferguson. I'm sorry, he's the DH, not right field. He is actually the DH. Willie Crawford's in right field. He will hit seventh. Steve Yeager, the catcher, he will hit eighth. And batting ninth will be the shortstop, Bill Russell. And on the mound for the 74 Dodgers will be Andy Messersmith. In 74, he was 20-6 with a 2.59 ERA, so he should give the Cubs everything they want in a pitcher. Let's look at the bench for the Dodgers, the available players. Manny Mota, Tom Paciorek, Lee Lacy, and Von Joshua, and then lastly Rick Auerbach. So those are the five guys that are on the bench. And in the bullpen for the Dodgers, a couple of long relievers, Al Downing and Jeff Zahn, and then their normal relievers, Mike Marshall, who is a long reliever all his own, as you can see, Jim Brewer, and then finally the knuckleballer Charlie Huff. So that's the roster for the Cubs. For the Dodgers. Look at the roster for the Cubs. Dexter Fowler will lead things off in center field. Ben Zobrist is in left field. He'll hit second. Anthony Rizzo's at first. He will hit third. Batting cleanup is Chris Bryant. Batting fourth is the catcher, Wilson Contreras. Hitting sixth, second baseman. Actually, Contreras is the DH. My bad. Contreras is the DH. Baez is at second base. He will hit sixth. Addison Russell, shortstop, will hit seventh. And how about that? Both teams have shortstops named Russell in this game. David Ross, who is the personal catcher of John Lester, will be doing the catching. And Jason Hayward in right field. And again, the pitcher, John Lester. And the reason I have David Ross there, because I want to be realistic, because he was the personal catcher for John Lester in that season. John Lester, 19-5, 2.44 ERA. Let's meet the extras on the Cubbies, the bench players and the bullpen. Bench players, we have outfielder Albert Almoro, Tommy La Stella, Chris Coughlin, and backup catcher Miguel Montero. And in the bullpen for the Cubbies, we have Justin Grimm, Carl Edwards Jr., Travis Wood, Hector Rondon, Pedro Strope, Trevor Cahill, and Aroldis Chapman, who they got from the Yankees for their stretch run. So those are the rosters for both of the teams, so you know who I have available to choose from strategy-wise. And that way, if you're wondering why I didn't play somebody, it's because maybe they weren't there. All right, so let's get our score sheet in line. And we'll try not to bump into the camera this time or mess up anything, because I want this to go through without any issues. So now let's bring this back so you can see everything. Hopefully that works pretty well. I had an issue a couple of videos ago. I couldn't figure out why when I was uploading things came out sideways. And apparently I hit something on my camera that locked the screen rotation, so it wouldn't rotate for me. That has been corrected, so hopefully everything now is back to a satisfactory result. And actually it's the Dodgers who are batting, not the Cubs. So Davey Lopes will lead things off against John Lester. Could be a good pitching duel right here between Lester and Messerschmidt. We shall see. First pitch is 1-4 for Lopes off the lefty, and that's a fly ball to right field. Jason Hayward makes the play, one away. And I'm doing the blue dice because of the Cubs and Dodgers both used their blue. All right, here's Bill Buckner, left fielder. 1-7 against the lefty. He's going to fly to right. So both easy outs to Jason Hayward early on. 2 up, 2 down, and that brings up Steve Garvey. Garvey a 5-9 off of Lester, and he's going to strike out. So John Lester makes quick work of the 74 Dodgers here in this one, in the first inning. No score. We go to the bottom of the first, and Andy Messerschmidt will see if he can match John Lester. And he may very well do it because he's got a great card as well. But it all depends on what the dice say. The dice have their final say in all this, because even the most improbable can come up. Here's Dexter Fowler to lead us off. 4-8 against the lefty for Messerschmidt is a strikeout. So Messerschmidt making his presence felt right away with a strikeout. Here's Ben Zobrist, Swiss Army knife of the Cubs. He plays a little bit of everywhere. Playing left field in this game. 3-9 for Messerschmidt. I'm sorry, for Zobrist against Messerschmidt is a fly to right. And Willie Crawford will put that away pretty easily. 2 up, 2 down, and that brings up Anthony Rizzo. 2-9 for Rizzo, and he just missed a home run chance. 2-9's a strikeout. Column 2 is loaded, but not number 9. So Messerschmidt, easy 1-2-3 frame. Go to the second, no score. And it'll be the toy cannon Jimmy Nguyen to lead things off. In this one, he'll be followed by Say, and then the DH Joe Ferguson. 6-8. Lester against a right-hander. 6-8. It's a fly to center. Handled by center fielder Dexter Fowler. 1 away. Brings up the Penguin, Ron Say. Or as I like to call him, Ron Say. 6-8. 6-8's another fly to center. I think that might have been the same roll. So Fowler getting a workout. Hayward got a workout in the first inning. Now Fowler's getting the workout. Here's Joe Ferguson. 4-6 for Ferguson. It's a ground ball to short. Russell's got it. That would be Addison, not Bill. And the inning is over. So like I said, both shortstops named Russell in this game. So we go to the bottom of the second. And Messerschmidt will be facing Chris Bryant. Wilson Contreras, the DH, and Javier Baez. 2-5 for Chris Bryant. Struck him out. So Messerschmidt, 3 strikeouts already. Here's Wilson Contreras. 5-8. 5-8's a ground ball to third. Say has it. Easy play, 2 down. And here is Javier Baez. 4-6 for Baez. 1-4 is a double. Anything else, he will fly to Jimmy Nguyen in center. And it's a 3, so it's going to get down for a double for Javier Baez. First hit of the game for either team. As Baez gets the 2-out double, he will be held as a B stealer. And it'll bring up Addison Russell. 6-8, and he's going to strike out. So that's going to end the inning. So Messerschmidt, 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. As he's certainly showing his dominance as well. Here's Lester coming back out. Will face the bottom of the order. Crawford, Yeager, and Russell. 5-8 against a lefty is a ground ball to second. Baez has got it. Easy play. Easy peasy, 1 out. That brings up Steve Yeager. 310 for Yeager. Ooh, that's damage done right here. 1 to 10 is a triple. 11 to 20 is a double. A 1. So how about that? A triple for Steve Yeager, the catcher. You have to wonder how many triples he had on his season. Well, they gave him a triple on his own card. He had 1, and he just found it. So that was the only way to find his triple, and he found it. So now the infield's going to have to come in with 1 out for Bill Russell. Choke that runoff. 2-5 for Russell, and it's a ground ball shortstop A. So I need to go to my little handy dandy book that I use just to stay consistent with these types of situations. And it's got a chart on here. Infield in and a ground ball A. With the runner on third is a 1. 1 says runner hold or batter out, runner holds. So in this case, with the ground ball going to shortstop, with them being in, Addison Russell fields the ground ball from Bill Russell, checks the runner at third, Yeager, and keeps him there, and there's 2 away. Now he has to get through Davey Lopes to get out of the inning. 3-12 for Lopes, and he hits him. So he plunks Lopes. Now Lopes, of course, is a threat to steal, is a double-A stealer. Ross, as a catcher, is a -2 arm. So double-A is a 17. Being held makes him a 15. -2 is a 13. So it's a 1 to 13 if they want to try to steal, but they already have runners at the corners and Bill Buckner up. So they're not, stealing doesn't really help them a whole lot, and it's not worth the gamble. So they're going to go ahead and let Buckner hit. 6-6. And it's a 1 to 9 for a single. Anything else, 10 to 20, and Rizzo gets it. It's an 8, so it's a base hit for Bill Buckner. How about that? A 1-star effect. But it's enough to get Yeager home. So the Dodgers draw first blood here. Runners at first and second, and Lopes will definitely have to be held. 1-0 Dodgers here in the third. Here's Garvey. Garvey, a 5-9 against a right-hander. 5-9 struck him out. So Garvey out on strikes, but the Dodgers strike. Get a run. RBI single from Buckner. Puts the Dodgers ahead 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. So now it'll be the Cubs' chance to try to answer back. And David Ross, the catcher, will lead things off, followed by Jason Hayward. 5-7. 5-7 is a ground ball second base X. That's Lopes. Defensively, Lopes checks in as a 3. E29. But a 3 is the big number. 3 and a 12. 3 and a 12 is probably going to lead to the error check. Let's find out. A 3 and a 12. Yep, anything 6 to 12 leads to an error check. So again, Lopes checks in error-wise as an E29. So it could be a little iffy here on the E29 and the 8. E29 and an 8 is a 1-base error. So there you go, that advanced fielding getting to him again. E4. So Ross is aboard. He will not be held, obviously, as an E-stealer. But he does get on as a lead runner, and that brings up Jason Hayward. So Hayward steps up. Not a good bunter, so they'll have him swing away. 2-9, 2-9, and he gets a ground to short for a double play. 6-4-3, just that easy. And the base runners are eradicated. So base is empty, 2 down for Dexter Fowler. 1-3 for Fowler, and he's going to get hit by a pitch, so maybe tit for tat here as they hit Lopes. So now the Cubs hit the Dodger leadoff man. Now the Dodgers have hit the Cubs leadoff man, so maybe they're even now. I don't know. Fowler is a B stealer. Let's see if he can try anything. I don't know. Yeager, his arm is a -3, so obviously they're not going to go anywhere. He will be held, but he won't try it. And that brings up Zobrist. 2-8 for Zobrist. There's a ground ball to first. Garvey's got it. Steps on the bag. Innings over. So 3 innings in the books. And it is the Cubs trailing the Dodgers 1-0. And Messersmith outdoing Lester at the moment. We go to the top of the fourth, and Jimmy Nguyen, the toy cannon. 1-8 against a lefty, and he's going to fly to center just like he did his first time. So he's flown out to, or flied out to to Fowler twice. This one leads off the inning, and actually in the second he led off the inning the same way. So here's Ron Say. He also flew to center. 6-7. This one's a ground ball, second base X. That's Baez. Javier Baez. And Baez defensively is a 1 on a range. So good range for Baez at second. And 16, that's a good play. So Baez makes the play. 2 up and 2 down. And here's Joe Ferguson, the DH. 3-6 for Ferguson against a lefty. 1-7 is a double. Anything else, 8 through 20, he's going to fly to Fowler. That's a 2, so it's a double for Joe Ferguson. And some low rolls on these D20s. Ferguson doubles, and he will not be held. Here's Willie Crawford. 6-6 against a lefty, and that's a 1-9 single. 10-20, and it's picked up by Rizzo, but it's 1 star, so the run cannot score either way. And it is an 8, so it's a single. Single, and that moves Ferguson to third. So runners are at the corners. 2 down for Steve Yeager. 2-8 for Yeager. He's going to strike him out. So Lester gets out of that jam. Keeps the score 1-0. Favor of the Cubbies. I'm sorry, favor of the Dodgers. 1-0 Dodgers. On a Bill Buckner RBI single in the third. So now that brings up Anthony Rizzo to start us off against Andy Messersmith. Rizzo strike out his first time. 1-8. And he's going to get a possible base hit. 1-10. 11-20. It's going to be snagged by Lopes. And that's a base hit. Another low roll on the D20. So rolling those low numbers. Rizzo will not try to steal. He will not be held. Here's Chris Bryant. 6-6. 6-6 is damage done. That could tie the game. 1-3 would be a triple. 4-20 is a single, 2 stars, and that would put runners at the corners with nobody out. And this time we do get a higher number, so it is a single for Chris Bryant. Rizzo was motored to third. Runners on the corners, nobody out. So in order to prevent the big inning, the Dodgers will play double play depth and exchange a run for 2 outs. Contreras, 6-7, struck him out. So now a double play will get him out of the inning. But here's Baez, who doubled his first time up. 5-11. Ground ball first base X. That is Garvey. Garvey, with his defense, is a 1-E8. So a 1. If he gets a good roll here, it could be a 3-6-3 double play to end the inning. 1 and a 6. A 1 and a 6 is a ground ball A, and it's a 3-6-3 double play, just what the doctor ordered. So second inning in a row, a double play has gotten them out of this. And we're still at 1-0. So the Dodger defense backing Messersmith big time. We start the 5th, and it'll be Bill Russell to lead us off against John Lester. 3-6 for Russell against the lefty. That's a base hit. Solid single for Bill Russell. He's a B stealer. He will be held, but with the arm of Ross, they're not going to try it. Lopes is a good bunter, though. He could bunt. No, you know what? They're going to have him swing away. 2-9. 2-9. He struck out. Maybe he should have bunted. So there's one away. Too late to bunt now after one's out already. So here's Buckner, and he had the RBI single, so he's definitely not thinking about bunt. 1-5 is a ground ball to second. That'll get the runner from first to second, but now there are 2 outs. And it'll be up to Steve Garvey. Steve Garvey, RBI machine in his heyday. He had 111 RBIs in 1974, so here's a chance to pick up a big one right here. The 2-out single if he can get it. 4-3. Ground ball first base X, that is Rizzo. And Rizzo checks in as a 1-E7. So a 1 and a 20. So he gets to it, no problem. Garvey can't get it done. Score remains 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And that's something I've noticed in this first rounds is low-scoring games because the best pitchers from both teams are out there. And it's kind of what you would expect. All right, here's Addison Russell to lead it off. 4-4, and that's ground ball third base X. That's Ron Say. He's a 2 with an E23. 2 and a 20 though is a good play. So Russell makes the out to say. 1 away. Here's Ross. 3-8 for Ross. Struck him out. 2 down. Going to bring up Jason Hayward. 4-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. Willie Crawford style. And Crawford will check in with a 3. E11. So his range is a 3, kind of average. 3 and a 19, though, that's going to be very acceptable as Crawford makes the play to end the inning. We go to the 6th, still 1-0. Favored the Dodgers. And Joe Maddon's got to wonder what his team has to do to get a run. All right, here is the toy cannon, Jimmy Nguyen, to lead things off. Be Nguyen, Say, and Ferguson. 110 against a left-hander. That's a potential home run for Jimmy Nguyen. 1-18, and the toy cannon will make it 2-0 very quickly. And he does. Toy cannon, Jimmy Nguyen. Big blast for Jimmy Nguyen. It is now a 2-0 game in favor of the Dodgers, and Jimmy Nguyen had 32 home runs in 1974, so definitely a powerhouse. Here's Ron Say. Now the Cub bullpen is starting to get active out there. 5-10 is a fly to right. So Hayward will make that play. 1 away for Ferguson. Ferguson a 5-4, and that is a fly ball to left. Handled by Zobrist. 2 down for Willie Crawford. 1-7 for Crawford is all his hits in column 1. He found his ground ball to second. So Baez makes the play. Let the Dodgers pick up another run, and at the end of 5.5, it's the Dodgers 2, Cubs nothing. And with Messerschmitt on the mound, that lead looks bigger and bigger. And now we're looking at the top of the order, Dexter Fowler for the Cubs. 1-9 for Fowler, and he's going to strike out. So Fowler's out of there. Here's Ben Zobrist. 3-6 for Zobrist. He's going to draw a 1-out walk. He will be held. He's not going to go anywhere as a Steve Steeler. But he will be held. And it does bring the tying run to the plate in Anthony Rizzo. 1 long ball could cure all ails. 2-5. Oh, and he has a chance. 2-5. 1-10. Is that tying home run. 11-20 is going to be at least a double. And that's a 10. It's gone. It is gone. A 2-run homer for Anthony Rizzo. And just like that, the Cubs have tied it, and somewhere Joe Maddon is smiling. So we are tied at 2 just that quickly. And here's Chris Bryant. 6-5, and that's another chance for a home run. 1-11 will be another homer. 12-20, he's going to fly it to Crawford. And that's a 12, so he just missed it. Just missed it. We're not doing the robbing the home run things, so because that's super advanced. So that's out number 2. So Chris Bryant missed it by 1 number from giving his team the lead. But right now it's tied at 2. And here's Contreras. 3-6 for Contreras against Messerschmitt. And he's got a chance at a home run. 1-15 is a home run. So all of a sudden a long ball is popping up. And Contreras goes deep. The Cubs take the lead on a Wilson Contreras home run. So 3rd time around they're getting to Messerschmitt. And Cubs now lead at 3-2. And the happiest guy on the field may be John Lester. So now he has a lead to protect. 2-5 for Baez, struck him out to end the inning. But a 3 spot for the Cubbies on 2 home runs, 1 by Contreras and 1 by Rizzo. Cubs lead at 3-2. We go to the 7th. And this is the point of weakness inning for John Lester, number 7. So we'll keep an eye on him. Cub bullpen is in full force, as is the Dodger bullpen. Dodgers have their Mr. Everything, Mike Marshall, in the bullpen, warming up. The Cubs have... let's see who they're going to look to here. They have Pedro Strope loosening in the bullpen, a right-hander. So we'll see how the wheels are turning for Lasorda and for Joe Maddon. Matchup with some interesting managers in this game. All right, here's Yeager, 6-3, and that's a solid single to left field. So right away, Dodgers trying to get back in this thing. And Bill Russell, who's a very good bunter, will step up to bunt. He'll be a B bunter. And that's a 5. Should be a good play. We'll check the bunt chart. B and a 5. Batter's thrown up by the pitcher. Runner advances. So no problems there. Russell did exactly what they needed him to do. Sacrifice hit 1-4. Yeager goes to second base. He's in scoring position now for Davey Lopes. So here's Lopes. It's Lopes and Buckner. 2-11 for Lopes. 2-11. It's a ground ball third base A. So the runner will have to hold as Bryant looks him back. So 2 down, and it's up to Bill Buckner. He had a RBI single in the third. Can he do it again? 2-9 against Lester. Oh, all these hits in column 2, and he found the ground ball to first. So Rizzo is able to snag it, go to the bag, and end the inning. So 7 really good innings for John Lester. Don't know if they're going to, I think they may end it right there with him with the 7. They may just say that's enough. We'll see. Now Messerschmitt also, his point of weakness is the 7th. So let's see what he can do against Addison Russell. 310, and 310 is a foul out to Yeager. And that's out number 1. All right, here's Ross. Now, if they're going to take out Lester, you might as well take out Ross because he's not a very good hitter. So although you do have the lead and you hate to lose that defense. So I think, you know what, we're going to keep Ross in there. 4-6 against Messerschmitt. A 1-4 is a double. Anything else, he flies to Jimmy Nguyen. And he flies to Jimmy Nguyen for out number 2. Had they been behind, they would have pinch hit. But since they're ahead, they're playing for their best defense. Here's Hayward, 4-5 for Hayward. Struck him out. So Messerschmitt finishes in style. So both pitchers will be done after 7. And it's a 3-2 Cubs lead. Pedro Strope will be coming on for the Cubbies. He'll be facing Garvey, Nguyen, and Say, 3 tough right-handers. And that will be his task to get done. Mike Marshall will be coming in for the Dodgers. You can't have a Dodgers game without Mike Marshall, can you? All right, so Pedro Strope is on. And Pedro Strope in the 2016 season for the Cubs. 2-2, 2.85 ERA. So nice little middle reliever type guy. Lester is done. So Steve Garvey right here. Now they do have Chapman light tossing in the bullpen, so he is definitely looming in the background. But they want to keep him to a 3-out save if possible. 6-10 for Strope against Garvey. It's a fly ball center field X. That's Jason Hayward. I'm sorry, that's Dexter Fowler. He's a 3. And that's a 1, so it's not a good play for Fowler, obviously. A 3 and a 1 for a center fielder is a double. So Steve Garvey, a leadoff double. Leadoff double for Steve Garvey. And now maybe Joe Madden might be getting second guess for pulling Lester. We'll see. Here's Jimmy Nguyen. And Garvey will not be held. He's a D-stealer. 4-7 against Strope. Struck him out. So Pedro Strope strikes out Nguyen. 1 away. And here's Ron Say. 5-9. 5-9 struck him out. So Strope responding with 2 straight strikeouts. And that brings up the DH Joe Ferguson. 6-7. Ground ball second base X. That's Baez. He's a 1. 1-14 should be a good play, and it is. And there's the end of the inning. So Strope did his job, and now it sets it up for Aroldis Chapman in the 9th. And right now Mike Marshall will be coming on for the Dodgers to face the top of the order and try to keep things right where they are. Mike Marshall. So Marshall on the 74 season, he was 15-12 with a 21 saves, but look at that, 208 innings as a relief pitcher. So that tells you right there how long he can go multiple innings, like 4 or 5 innings if he had to. But since Dodgers could possibly lose here, I don't want to go through this whole thing without putting out their best relief pitcher. So even though Messerschmitt wasn't pitching too badly, I felt like I had to make the move. So here is Dexter Fowler, 3-8, and that's a 1-11 single. 12-20, he grounds to Russell. And that's a base hit for Fowler to lead off the 8th. Now Fowler is a B stealer, but good arm out of Yeager. So Zobrist is a B bunter. He could try to bunt. He'd be a C bunter. So you know what? They're going to have him bunt. C bunter and a 5. Let's see if he can get that done. C bunter and a 5. Batter is thrown up by pitcher. Runner advances 1 base. So there you go. He gets the job done. Whether you agree with the strategy or not is a different story, but he gets the job done. They're trying to get an extra run. One run would be huge right now to give him a 2-run lead. So here's Rizzo. Rizzo homered his last time. They could walk Rizzo, set up a force at any base and the double play, and you know what? They're going to walk Rizzo. Pitch to Chris Bryant. So they saw enough of Rizzo in that last at bat. They're going to walk him and face Chris Bryant to set up a double play. 1-5, and they might set up a home run. Although 1-5 on Rizzo would have been a walk, so he would have walked anyway. So really, I guess it didn't matter too much. 1-5 though here is a home run. 6-20 is still a double. They might bring home 2 runs. That's a 6, so it's a double for Chris Bryant. You know Fowler's going to score. They might hold up Rizzo. Let's see where the double went, to center field. So that's Jimmy Nguyen's arm. So Jimmy Nguyen checks in as a +3 arm, so that's a good chance for them to advance. +3 arm. Rizzo, who was not being held as a trail runner, is a 13. +3 is a 16, so it's a 1-16 to score him. And he barely slides in under the tag of Yeager. And it's a 2-run double for Chris Bryant. So he says, take that for intentionally walking me, Tommy Lasorda. And Mike Marshall kind of imploded here. So brings up Contreras, the DH. 3-6 for Contreras. And he's got a chance for a home run right here. 1-15. Cubs looking to blow it away. 6 and it's gone. So they won't even need Aroldis Chapman now because it's no longer a save situation as the Cubs have now blown things open. 4 runs off of Mike Marshall here in the 8th inning. And here's Javier Baez. Marshall shaking his head. 4-9 against Marshall, and that's a 1 home run. Anything else will be a fly to Buckner and left, and that's what it is. That's 2 away, and that's going to send us to Addison Russell. 1-6 for Russell, and he's going to fly to Buckner and left as well to end the inning. But a 4 spot, and after being down 2-0, the Cubs have come back to take a 7-2 lead and pretty much put this thing away. So Strope will exit. It will not be Aroldis Chapman because there's no need for that. Phase 4 batter. So they're just going to bring in any scrub they want to use up and save Chapman for later. So let's see, which scrub are they going to bring in? They will bring in Carl Edwards Jr. So Carl Edwards Jr., who on the 2016 season, 0-1, 3.75 ERA and 2 saves. Obviously no save situation here. But if he gets into trouble, Chapman is still lurking in the background. So he's not leaving anywhere. He's hanging around just in case. Crawford to lead us off. 3-12 for Crawford. It's a Lomax. Line out to second on a Lomax for out number 1. Brings up Yeager. Now let's see, what do they have on their bench as far as pinch hitters go? They do have Manny Mota. Let's see what kind of hitter Yeager was. 266, not too bad. Russell, 269, decent. But let's look at somebody like Manny Mota. Oh, he's a 281 hitter. Just looking at their bench and seeing what they have. They don't have a whole lot, to be quite honest with you, that's better than what's out there now. So they're going to go ahead and let Yeager swing away. They may bring in, I think they're going to bring in Manny Mota to pinch hit for Bill Russell. So we will get a Manny Mota sighting. Just can't have a Dodger game without a Manny Mota sighting. 5-4 off of Edwards. And that's a home run chance. 1-17 is a home run. He does have normal power. So Yeager could go deep right here. And he does. You can't see it. It's a 14, but that's gone. Home run. Let's fix this up here. Home run, Steve Yeager. He's single, tripled, and homered. He's a double away from the cycle, so I certainly was going to pinch hit for him. So that cuts the lead now to 7-3. Bill Russell will leave. And Manny Mota will come on, and Manny Mota in 74 had 57 at bats, but he did have 16 RBIs, so he made the most of those in a 281 average. So Manny Mota is up, try to keep something going here against Edwards. 3-6, and he's going to get a single. He did exactly what they needed him to do. Manny Mota with the single. And of course, he's not much of a runner, so as an old man, so they're going to bring in a pinch runner. And the pinch runner will be, let's see, is it going to be Pachorik, or is it going to be Lee Lacy, or is it going to be Rick? It's going to be Rick Auerbach. So Rick Auerbach is the pinch runner, and he would stay in the game to play short, just in case, by some miracle, they tie the game or take the lead. Right, here's Davey Lopes. 5-7, and that's a walk. I'm sorry, 5-7 is a strikeout. I was looking at 6-7. 5-7 is a strikeout for Strope, so that, for Edwards rather. So the Dodgers down to their final out, and it's Bill Buckner. How appropriate is that? 4-5. 4-5 struck him out, and that's the ball game. So Carl Edwards finishes in style after giving up the solo shot to Yeager. And the Cubs defeat the Dodgers by the score of 7-3. Winning pitcher was John Lester, and the loser was Messersmith. No save because of the big lead that the Cubs got late in the game. But the Cubs will be the ones advancing on in the tournament, and the Dodgers will go back in their Diamond Gems folder and just have to think about what could have been. So let's go to the bracket now, and we'll update the, I'm trying to make sure I don't hit the camera so I don't lose anything here. So Chicago gets the victory, and now this side of the region, this side of the bracket is set for round 2. It'll be the 61 Yankees taking on the 2016 Cubs in the semifinal here, or quarterfinal here. You have 1993 Atlanta taking on the 79 Pirates in that matchup. This matchup, you have the 86 Mets against the 79 Orioles. Interesting matchup there. Probably the one I'm looking forward to the most out of all these brackets. Then you have the 2003 Yankees taking on the 71 Pirates. So if they keep winning, you could have a Baltimore 79 versus Pittsburgh 79 World Series rematch in the region final if it gets to that. But right now, that's what we've got there. And as we look ahead, the next matchup in the running here is the Moneyball A's taking on the 77 Kansas City Royals. It's a 16 versus 17, so the most even teams in the tournament. They are it. So the next game, next video, it's going to be Oakland Moneyball. See what Moneyball can do against George Brett and the Royals. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'm glad that the video kept going and didn't cut out on me or didn't air out on me or whatever. And good to get back. I was going to go live with this, but as soon as I was going to do that, Tabletop, or not Tabletop, but Tenacious Earl went live with the golf. So I didn't want to compete with that. So decided it might be better just to do it this way. It still gives me the option if I want to premiere it, I can. If not, I'll just upload it depending on what the situation is. But anyway, this is where we stand. So you can pause the video and take a long look at all the matchups that are still remaining to be played in the first round. You still have the 04 Cardinals against the 05 White Sox, an 8 versus 25 matchup. And then you have the 1970 Orioles against the 1972 Oakland A's, a 6 versus 27 matchup right here. If Oakland happens to upset Baltimore, they would play Oakland of 88, so you have an Oakland versus Oakland potentially there. I think that's the only ones where teams can play each other, unless you get one of these Yankee teams that make it all the way to the end. The 61 Yankees and the 03 Yankees could possibly do something along those lines. But I think that's the only option that's still available, looking at everything that's out there. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and getting through this COVID mess that we're in. And hopefully before too long, things will get back to a more normal basis. That's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoy playing every game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.